Bang, bang. What's up? How are you guys this morning? Lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful Polina Marinova, who kind of has the uniform on of a black t-shirt. But now I think that what is this, bodybuilding season? Are you pulling an Arnold Schwarzenegger on us? Just going to show us the guns.
No, I can't.
Hit us with the guns.
I can't. The people aren't ready for that.
Don't bring those deadly weapons on the show.
The pistols.
Oh my! All right, let's get into unemployment. What's going on with the unemployment situation?
The economic pain continues. Another 3.84 million U.S. weekly jobless claims.
So these are first-time filers of unemployment. 3.8 million brings us to over 30 million over the last 6 weeks. There's two ways to look at it. One is the number each week is going down from that high of whatever it was, 6.6 million. But at the same time, we're like desensitized to the data, right? Like we forget that 3.8 million sounds like, oh, look, it's getting better.
Right.
But 3.8 million, if that had happened in February, that would have been a 50% increase in total national unemployment in a single week.
No, it's crazy.
Right. So it's just, again, look, we don't want to beat a dead horse here, but we got to get people back to work. We got to get the economy turned back on. We got to do it safely. But I think that is it's obvious that the unemployment numbers are not going to get better anytime until we reopen cities. Right?
So this is interesting. So unemployment insurance claims in the last 6 weeks, 30.3 million. The number of jobs created since the Great Recession in 2008, 2009 is 22.4 million. So all that job creation has been wiped out.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's a lot.
Right? I mean, think about it. It's much easier to fall off the cliff, and then you got to think of it like a mountain, right? It takes hours and hours and hours to climb to a mountain. If you just jump off, right, you fall to the ground real fast. Same thing here. It's just it's easier for a big economic fall. And then it'll take us years to build back these jobs.
But okay, so the number of jobs that were lost during the Great Recession was only, but 8.7 million compared to 30 million.
We literally are all sitting at home. The government said we have guns and men and women in uniforms.
And I got pistols.
And if you don't go home and shut down your business, we're going to come arrest you. We're going to fine you. We're going to do all these things. Well, guess what ends up happening? Everyone goes home and they have to fire people.
Yeah.
30 million Americans. It's crazy.
That's absurd.
1 in 5 people in the labor force are without a job right now. 1 in 5. If you go on average and you talk to 4 friends, you or one of them lost their job.
Yeah. I told you I know 5 people.
5 people?
Yeah.
Sad.
I know.
All right. What's going on with Elon Musk? Elon went off yesterday.
So Elon's just being Elon. This is literally not surprising to me whatsoever. But in the Tesla earnings call, he kind of popped off and said that orders to stay home are fascist, and he used some inappropriate language.
Do you disagree with him? Ooh.
So
the money printer's going, but do you disagree?
So here's the thing. Let me preface this by saying I actually like Elon and think he's done a lot to kind of push humanity and innovation forward. If you read his biography by Ashley Vance, very fascinating person. I think that there's a time and a place for things. I don't think that on a Tesla earnings call, which the earnings call is actually good for Tesla, like they had great numbers. I'm not sure that's the right forum to express your opinion about forcible imprisonment and fascism. Okay,
but you didn't answer the question. Do you agree with him?
I agree with the spirit.
Okay. So basically what he said is, he says, listen, the quotes are pretty aggressive. He basically says, you can't require people to stay home. You can't literally say, if you leave your home, we're going to arrest you. His point is, it's fascist. It's not democratic. That is not what freedom is about. And at the same time, what he describes and what I actually think was left out of a lot of the news coverage of this is he's sticking up for small businesses, right? What he basically said at one point was like, look, Tesla can weather this, but most small businesses can't. And so if you want to stay home, right? There should be no penalty against that. But what you shouldn't be able to do is tell people you have to stay home.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's your show now. I mean, you're basically the host and everything. So just go ahead, ask whatever you want.
Would the alternative have been? Is this what he's suggesting? Is this what you're suggesting? That instead of telling people you must stay home, the government should have said, if you want to stay home, you should. I don't think anybody would have listened.
Okay, so my point all along has been, when you tell people you have to do it, or there is a penalty, it's a violation of their constitutional rights. If you look at somewhere like Sweden, there's something called herd immunity, right? And Sweden, Sweden didn't tell people you have to stay home. There was no shelter in place orders. What they instead said was wash your hands, stay socially distant, right? Do all these things. And they actually have really, really good health data. Now, there's something to be said about the relationship that the Swedish government has with their population. There's a lot more collaboration. They listen more, all this kind of stuff. Part of the thing is that the United States, everyone, even now with the stay-at-home orders, and people are in Central Park, right? So they're not necessarily just going to listen. But I do believe that the solution here is not black and white, shut the economy or don't, or overwhelm the healthcare system, don't. Instead, it's this middle ground. And all I keep going back to is like, you should shelter the old, the sick, and those with pre-existing conditions. You should legally protect the people who don't want to go to work. They're scared or they're afraid they're going to get sick. You should open the economy and say, if you're under a certain age, you voluntarily can go back. And you should still impose things like wear a mask, wash your hands, stay socially distant, like all of these measures. And so it's kind of this, not a black and white solution. It's in the gray area, and you try to address both problems at the same time.
I get it, but that's hard. And Sweden is widely different from the United States. But do you think that in a place like New York City, people would have been like, oh, okay, I'll be socially distant? Like,
well, they're doing it right now.
Because they're forced to.
But there's nothing that is forcing you right now to be socially distant. They're forcing you to not go to work. They've forced the businesses to be shut. But there's nobody on the street sitting there saying, I'm going to fine you or arrest you if you're standing within 6 feet.
I think the social pressure, but the social pressure comes from the political pressure.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. You can do that without forcing the businesses to be closed. Like here's my example. So there's many small businesses that are around us here in New York, right? And Dwayne Reed and CVS are open.
Yeah.
They're considered essential businesses. And the whole idea is that you can go into the store, you can stay 6 feet away from people, you can buy a good and you can leave.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That falls within it. But what about the stores that sell other things? Why can't I go in that store, stay 6 feet apart from everybody,
like
buy the good and leave?
Store.
Well, just any store, right? The liquor store's open. I can go in, stay 6 feet away, buy liquor and leave. Why can't I do that in any store that sells any good? It's the same mechanism. The difference is, and that's why people are getting upset. That's why Elon's saying like these small businesses are suffering, but you're not shutting down every business,
right.
But you can implement the same measures. And then again, if you're scared of being sick or getting sick, don't go into work. Don't go outside, and let's legally protect you. Let's make sure that if you don't go back to work because you're worried, you can't get fired. You can't get, your pay docked,
It's really tough.
It's definitely tough. I actually think that he's going to catch a lot of flack for this, but his general sentiment is right. He used very, very strong language like fascism. I think at one point he said like imprisonment,
forcibly imprisoning.
Yeah, like that stuff is going to make it much more salacious. Big SAT word there for you. Headlines, and people are obviously going to write about and have hot takes off of it.
Sensational.
Yeah, salacious is a bigger SAT word. What's going on with American Airlines?
Isn't this your airline?
American Airlines, baby. That's all I fly. They're the best. They're the best. AA forever.
I'm more of a Delta gal, but American Airlines loses 2.2.
Are you allowed to bring those guns on the plane? Dad joke.
Can't show that off on the plane.
You know why?
Why what?
Because Carol fucking Baskin. All right, what's going on? What's going on with American Airlines?
American Airlines loses $2.2 billion in the first quarter as coronavirus roiled air travel.
So revenue's down 20%. Most airlines have seen 95% decrease in bookings. They lost $2.2 billion in Q1. Remember, a lot of that is backloaded, meaning that across the quarter in January, they still had pretty good numbers. February got a little worse. March got a little worse. And then really the last 2 weeks, like everything fell off a cliff. But the big number to me is right now they're losing $70 million a day.
Yeah.
I mean, $70 million a day is nuts.
Well, nobody's flying.
How are they going to come back? But you know what AA did? American Airlines, AA for life. You know what they did?
What did they do?
They extended all of the elite statuses for another year. So if your elite status was going to end January 2021, they extended to January 22. AA for life.
This was the least obvious. No. This was a humble brag, but it wasn't very humble because he just wanted to tell you that he's elite.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I only fly American. I'm like, whatever they want to do, I'm in. They're amazing.
Can you not with the...
It's just telling me that I got other shit to do. That you're not the most important thing going on. I'm going to get in trouble for that later. What's going on with the NCAA?
NCAA. I learned that is the college edition.
The college edition?
Yeah.
It's the college governing body for sports.
College edition. They said.
Do you know why it's NCAA?
Because there are 2 A's.
Got a genius on my hands.
You can't reuse jokes. They're not funny the second time.
I just did.
Okay,
Why'd you laugh?
Don't
Go
recycle. The NCAA it's not the okay, whatever. They support a proposal to allow college athletes to sign endorsement contracts and receive payments for other work.
So the NCAA forever has hidden behind this sham. Remember what I said? The virus is exposing all the shams. The biggest sham the NCAA ever did was they said, you're an amateur athlete. You can't get paid any money for anything.
Even though some of the guys are big.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to get paid for anything. So what that meant was you can't have a big social audience and then a business come to you and say, hey, can you tweet about my business? I'll pay you for it, right? So that's not allowed. You also couldn't do things like put my face and name on a product and then sell it, right? Because I'm using my image and likeness.
Yeah.
But the whole argument was, wait a second. How can you say that when, for example, the NCAA store was selling my jersey? It's my jersey, right? And when you search in the NCAA store at one point, you could search like Anthony Pompliano, and then my jersey would come up, and NCAA would make money, but I would get none of it.
Yeah.
So they're using my image and likeness. How come I don't get paid from it?
So right. Well, because And I went to the University of Georgia, and we had this college athlete, I guess, on the football team who got in trouble, I think, for signing.
Yep, not allowed.
T-shirts?
Not allowed. You can't get paid to do it.
Oh, okay. Maybe he got paid.
If you sign and then sell it, if you sign and sell it, then you would get in trouble.
I see.
So the whole idea is this is why it's a sham, is because the NCAA makes hundreds of millions of dollars off these athletes and they don't pay them. And people always say,
Do they get a cut?
No, they get nothing, zero. So people always say, oh, well, they get a scholarship. Right? Oh, okay. But do they actually get the real education that the rest of the students get? Probably not. Two, most of these kids would qualify for like 80 to 90% of other types of aid, right? When I went to school, they would give aid to you for all these different purposes. And the scholarship is just another piece of it.
Right.
So it's all a sham. And
but why is the virus exposing this?
Well, it's just the fact, I'm just joking. Oh, okay. But like the sham is that they're not paying athletes. Yeah. Because here's the other piece is that imagine all the health concerns, right? Yeah. So like, let's say I play football for 3 or 4 years, right? And I get 2 concussions and then I have health issues moving forward. I get nothing. Yeah. Right. Or let's say that I'm a big time athlete, right? And I'm actually making my school millions of dollars. And then all of a sudden I blow my knee out. I never make it to the NFL or the NBA. I don't get paid any money. They made all this money off me and I'm just kind of thrown to the wayside.
So how is this going to affect future, students who want to go to college for football? Are they going to like become millionaires in college? Like what's going to happen here?
Well, there's 2 things, right? So one is there's a lot of people who are trying to attack the NCAA and basically create alternative paths. Like the NBA now came up with this new program that's like, hey, don't go to the NCAA and play college basketball for a year before you can go to the NFL or NBA draft. Instead, go to this like kind of testing league.
Oh, sorry. NCAA isn't football?
No, it's every sport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it governs all the sports. So the other thing that you're talking about is basically, they're going to make a ton of money, right? The really, really best athletes, but still like the guy who's, not playing a lot or not popular, they're not going to make anything. Yeah, or the girl who doesn't, play a lot, they're not going to make anything either. And so the whole thing comes down to now you're going to get into issues where like, what happens when you hand an 18, 19-year-old kid who's the star athlete $1 million? Well, they're going to do crazy stuff, right? And that's always been one of the concerns. Right. But still, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't allow them to make a living.
Wow.
Right. All right. So TikTok. Why is this in here? What is going on in TikTok?
So TikTok.
You're obsessed with TikTok.
I've been on TikTok.
Are you addicted?
No. I'm trying not to be.
They hit people with the Carol Baskin. That's one of the dances.
So TikTok crossed 2 billion downloads after the best quarter for any app ever.
How many people downloaded it in Q1? More than 315 million installs. That's nuts. That is nuts. To put that in perspective, Facebook has 2 million users. Like TikTok has just as many installs approximately as Facebook.
No, it's more, I think.
No, it's not. But it's nuts. 315 million is a massive number.
Yeah.
That's probably bigger than any
the first quarter.
Yeah, that's probably bigger than any quarter I ever saw when I was at Facebook.
It's pretty crazy because I think now it's attracting not just teenagers, but also their older sisters or their moms or whatever. And it's really crazy to see like all the mom content on TikTok. And they're like 25, and you're like, oh my God, they're 25 and have like a 10-year-old. Okay, maybe not that.
Maybe they're 28 and have a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
It's called demographic expansion. So a lot of times what happens is a lot of mobile apps or like that have a social component to it. They penetrate a single demographic. So let's say high schools or colleges. And then what they do is, well, two things happen. So one is you're the demographic that first downloaded it starts to get older. So just naturally they keep using the application. If I downloaded it when I was 20 and now I'm 25 and I'm still using it, naturally it gets older. Second is it takes time for those social circles to kind of expand out. So one of the key things that most social apps know that a lot of people don't realize is there's massive explosion around Thanksgiving and Christmas, because what happens is
families come together.
In a college, a bunch of kids are all using something. They go home, they tell their friends from home, right? So you get cross-pollination across schools. And also now I'm hanging out with my older brother, my younger sister, my parents, whatever, and you get all this growth.
Do you remember so I have a little sister who's in high school. Do you remember when I made a TikTok with her?
We are not going to talk about that. That was a crime. Literally, that was a criminal activity. The video you sent me, I thought that was going to, like somebody died. I was like, what happened? Speaking of at home, what?
Wait, I'm not done. So do we think...
Damn, I just got bodied.
Does that mean when I tackle you in football?
No, it means when you show up with your guns hanging out on camera and then all of a sudden start bodying me in the comments.
So do we think that now, because all these moms and like older siblings are on this app, it's going to get less cool just like Facebook did?
No.
Why?
I think it'll continue to grow.
Wait, why?
Because the whole thing around Facebook was like the parents came in to like spy on their kids. Oh. Instead, I think what's happening here is like the parents are participating. Like they're actually in the videos, right? They're doing dances.
It's
like they're
so bad,
they're doing
but
stuff.
so good.
All right, what's going on with the Couch Potatriot?
Couch Potatriot. Burger King has this campaign. This is not an ad, but Burger King's basically like, do your part for America. Stay on your couch.
And so what are they doing? They created like a Whopper.
Duty. Yeah, and then they're donating.
Well, it's hard to read the article when you pull up one that's behind a paywall. You can only read the headlines.
Oh,
she got hit with the paywall. Bang, bang, paywalls. Personally, I'm long McDonald's, short Burger King. Burger King's fine, but I'm actually a bigger McDonald's fan.
Why did you just flinch?
Because I thought you were about to hit me. You see this life I live? Got to be kind of dodging getting hit here.
I need to rewatch that later.
Got my head on a swivel. Always stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. You know what I'm saying? But no, so it's pretty cool that Burger King's trying to get people to stay at home on their couch. I gotta if you guys see me just jump out of my chair, it's because I'm nervous. Yeah, you got violence going on here. But McDonald's is definitely better than Burger King. I mean, like that's just like a known fact. Have you ever had a Whopper?
Yeah.
Do you think it's better than McDonald's?
No, McDonald's is the golden standard.
Would you choose McDonald's or Chick-fil-A?
McDonald's.
Would you choose McDonald's or Bojangles?
McDonald's.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, Bojangles is
okay. So one time
popping.
He didn't eat meat for like 6 months, and the way he broke the meat streak was by having like a massive Bojangles.
I went to Bojangles and had the 4-piece chicken supreme dinner or whatever it is, and then I ate it 3 times in 2 days. I was ready to roll. I was like, "Welcome back to the meat world." Yeah. It was great. All right. Anything else? What else do you have here?
So you might have noticed that I didn't do anything crazy for the subscribers today because someone rained on my parade.
Technically somebody said that if you didn't bring a pistol into the episode that they were going to unsubscribe, and then you showed up with your guns.
Wait, you're right.
Yeah, I got you. No worries.
Thank you.
Just trying to keep the subscribers.
So this is going to be a quiz.
All right.
Don't look.
All right.
Would you do this for someone?
No, I'm out already. I'm out already.
Will you do the next video shirtless?
Maybe. All right, what's next?
For the ladies. Will you...
That was bait for all the men watching out there. That was bait. I didn't take the bait. I just completely sidestepped that bullshit and just kept pushing forward.
For all the guys.
Go ahead.
Will you wear a white t-shirt?
No, I don't own any.
That's true. I don't think you own any.
I literally don't own any.
Except the one with your dog on it.
Oh, I do own one with my dog's face on it. Maybe I'll wear that one day.
You should wear that one. Would you do Marine Corps push-ups?
Marine Corps push-ups are too easy.
What are those?
They're the light push-ups. They're like 2 super easy push-ups. So like I do Army push-ups, which are a little bit harder. All the Marine guys will understand.
Wait, what? Can I understand what is it?
I'm joking.
What is the difference?
The Marines, the Army, the Navy, they all just have like basically I don't know if it's appropriate to say this, but they just have like a pissing contest. And so, they all do push-ups different ways. Not really, but they just say that.
So here's a tip. If you ever have to say, I don't know if this is appropriate, don't say it.
This is the difference between you and I. When you think that, you don't say it. When I think that, I say it.
Okay. Would you make the money printing sound with your hat on backwards? Oh God. There we go. We have one.
No,
we kept one subscriber, guys.
No, I would not do that. That sounds ridiculous.
Will you love to see Polina with the hat and sunglasses in the next video?
Polina's beautiful. Whatever she wants to wear is fine with me.
Watch. Oh, okay. You didn't flip.
All right. Look, time's up. No more questions. Okay. Guys, that's it for Lunch Money today. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us trying to get our lunch money right. Again, please smash the like button. That's what we keep getting told. Smash the like button. Leave a comment. I try to respond to all of them. Share the URL. Or basically do all this crazy stuff to make this stuff go viral so Polina will be famous. She can't wait.
Or alternatively, just click the like button gently and go on with your day.
That's it for today. We'll see you guys later.